Greetings, comrades, and welcome to the Emmy Cave. As you both know, I read a lot of books and watch a lot of TV shows and movies. I particularly like those that refer to doom and gloom possible futures for the world. Reading books like The Hunger Games, Hatchet, and The Road, and shows like Jericho, and pretty much every epic disaster movie out there has taught me something. It pays to know how to survive. The characters don't just survive by sheer luck, although that does help considerably, but by ingenuity and calm-headedness in the face of danger. And as these fictional possible futures scare me to death, I've decided to take some precautionary measures in order to increase my chances. I firmly believe that the following skills are essential to survival of a future natural disaster, nuclear fallout, or the zombie apocalypse. Number 1. The ability to cook and sew. Now, I know this seems a bit housewifey, but think about it. Has anyone ever been able to live without at least a cursory knowledge of how to put some kind of sustenance together? And a good needle can mend clothing, create the difference between freezing and living, and also can let you stitch up a wound if necessary, hopefully while the other person is unconscious. Which brings me to number 2, basic first aid knowledge. You need the basic know-how to survive an inhospitable post-apocalyptic world. You need to know how to mend small cuts and bruises, and have the insight in case of worse wounds. The fact that a bleeding stump cannot be put in running water and must have a tourniquet applied, and the correct way to apply said tourniquet, is essential. Number 3, knowledge of flora and fauna. Which mushroom will be delicious when roasted and which will result in painful death is a very good question and crucial to survival in the wilderness. If you can identify the edible, the avoidable, and the deadly, you can stand some kind of chance. Bringing me to 4, camping skills. Characters almost never get to live through the end of civilization in the comfort of their own homes. Except for like Will Smith in I Am Legend, but that's a completely different story. They have to trek through the woods, find empty and dry caves, and keep from developing hypothermia. That's where camping experience comes in handy. You know how to rough it, light a fire without a match, and survive in the wild. Although your chances are increased even more if you have 5, self-defense training. This mainly applies to the zombie apocalypse. However, if some survivors have resorted to cannibalism, this works against them as well. If you know how to fight off an attacker without sustaining major injury, you may be able to survive the dog-eat-dog post-apocalyptic world. But my next point is still handy. 6, ability to successfully shoot a gun. Always a good idea, from self-defense to hunting, a gun is a useful tool. Additionally, any hunting experience, such as setting traps for animals, aim, where to shoot to kill, or just to maim, combined with self-defense makes a better chance at survival. 7, basic understanding of engineering. If you can build a shelter, create a pulley to keep your food from wild bears, and design a raft to get you off the island, you're golden. 8, run fast. If you can do this, you can make up for a lack of self-defense skills just by fleeing a deadly situation. Although if they have a gun, just pray that they can't shoot for crap. Number 9, criminal know-how. Picking a lock, jacking a card, general stealthiness, ninja. All useful skills when food is scarce and transportation difficult to come by. Mostly applies in a post-zombie apocalypse world where not all the stores are gone yet. And that brings me to 10. Lastly, and most importantly, the will to live. Without this, all the others don't matter. You're only going to survive as long as you want to survive. The world will be a bleak place. You have to decide if you want to continue to inhabit it. Those were Emmy's top 10 ways to survive the end of the world. Hopefully you learned something, and hopefully we will now all survive, so see you then.